Shalom, this is your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Today is a lesson which I feel like I do from time to time about simplifying your life. It's going to help you, declutter your life, keep your eye single. Man, when you simplify your life, you're intentionally taking steps to remove, excess busyness, unnecessary distractions from your life. And in the process, you allow yourself time and space to give your energy to your main priority, which is the things of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's what matters. So things need to be simple so that you could immerse yourself in doing the work and reading and studying and applying the Lord's ways to your life. So you don't need a whole bunch going on in our walk. Because at some point in time, whether you can see it or not, and some of you can see it, it pulls away from you being the best version of yourself in the ministry. Okay? So let's first go to 2 Corinthians 11:3. It says, "But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety," and there are things that you may have going on in your life that don't necessarily need to be there, that subtly could be pulling you away or just, stifling the maximum effort that we should be giving. All right? As the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, all right, beguiled her with another way, another philosophy, outside of the instructions and the way that the Lord gave. You see? So your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in the Mashiach. Okay? There's simplicity in the Lord. And we should seek to keep our lives simple so that we can flourish in the pathway that he's given us. Don't have unnecessary strife where there not need be. And a lot of things fall under that umbrella. Now let's go to Proverbs 16:3. It says, "Commit thy works." This is Proverbs 16:3. "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." Okay, you want to grow, you be in the right, head space on a regular basis. You want to have, control over your flesh, over your emotions. When you give your time to the Lord, it gives you perspective. I was talking with a brother. He came to town to visit here in Dallas about a week or two ago, and we got a little bit of history. He was one of my teammates when I played ball at the University of Pittsburgh, and we just, catch it up. And I said, whatever happened to it was a woman he was dealing with. I said, I remember you telling me there was a baby on the way. How's the little one? But, he told me that that woman that knew the truth that he was dealing with stepped out on him, and the child wasn't his. I said, I was like, God damn, we talked about that a little bit, but then I brought up the fact that to the Lord, we were that woman. You know what I mean? When you look at things that way, because it's the example of Hosea. He had Hosea take on a harlot. And I always bring up this point that the Lord allows our women to be in His spirit. He put her in that spirit so that we could, have an inkling of an insight into the frustration that He has with us as a nation. Because, in Jeremiah it talks about how we're married unto the Lord. All right, so when you look at things that way, it's like, man, your mindset becomes, what do I need to do to be in good graces with my husband? Okay. All right. Let's go to Psalms 37:5. It says, and I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, "Commit everything you do to the Lord, trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn. So when you're applying your ways to the Lord and you're giving your time to him, you know, and we're not perfect, but we should be, you know, getting better over time. I got my bullshit that I need to clean up and do better at. But the more you give your time to the Lord, and it's not going to be all at once, obviously. You know, you got to find out what works for you. And it allows you to be in this space to, okay, this works, where I start to, you know, level up in the spirit. I can see it, you know. It's going to be different from brother to brother. One of the things I like to do, which I need to get back on, is I will have I got my whiteboard, and it's like a daily checklist. Okay, I'm supposed to read, you know, these 3 chapters today, put up my lesson, obviously, which I'm going to do, make a short, you know, teach my son a biblical concept, you know, break it down to him to where, you know, he can understand. You know, just various things. So throughout my day, I know, okay, I'm supposed to hit these target points. And what it does is you could kind of like police yourself. You can say, okay, am I locked in and focused? And then over time, you start hitting those checkpoints more often. There's going to be days where you know, man's going of the Lord, where things just pop up and you're not able to do everything you plan to do, obviously. But it develops a routine. It develops you holding yourself accountable to something, and it develops discipline, which is one of the main characteristics that we need to, you know, receive salvation. We got to be disciplined. We got to have control and dominion over, you know, our flesh, and to not be distracted, and to keeping our eyes single. Right? Man is what he gives his time to. And, you know, being around other Renats Zakba, that man has a routine. He sticks to it. And if something deters him from his routine, man, he'd be irritated, because he understands the importance of, you know, keeping in you know, the rhythm, the flow of, you know, I'm giving my time to the Lord. I'm doing these things. All right, it keeps you in the place you ought to be in. All right, let me see here. Get over. I'm trying to drive these people driving crazy. All right, let me read that again from the top. Proverbs 37:5 in the NLT. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust him, and he will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn. You become a light in the world, man, as we ought to be. And the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. And the noonday sun, that's when the sun is at its highest peak. All right. You wanna be rehearsed, like it says in Judges 5:11. You want to be rehearsing the righteous acts, but to the best of your ability, man, at your highest peak. You should be striving for that every day, as we all should, man. You know, and there's room for improvement for us all. All right, let me see here. Verse 7. Be still in the presence of the Lord, and wait patiently for him to act. Don't worry about evil people who prosper or fret about their wicked schemes. Stop being angry. Turn from your rage. Do not lose your temper. And I mentioned the example with the brother that came to visit earlier, because that also helps you have control over, you know, your temper. Like I said, when you're giving your time to the Lord, you get perspective. So yeah, you're still going to be vexed from day to day with the filthy conversation of the wicked. You know, like it says in Ezekiel 9:4, the elect, they're going to be sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the midst of earth. Okay, obviously, but you know, you have a lid on it, you have control on it. If you could channel that frustration into something productive instead of just being angry, man. Because when we come in this truth, man, often the time, especially when you're new, it's just gonna be times where you're just like angry. You're like, man, what the fuck, you know? Some brothers, you know, they come in, they have a little short fuse, man, because you're pissed off, you know. But you know, the more you give time to the Lord, and you understand how the Lord moves and how nothing happens without the Lord say so, and how a lot of the frustrations that we have, the Lord will put them there to give us insight or to even inspire, you know, edification. So, you know, become angry less. Verse 8 again. Stop being angry. Turn from your rage. Do not lose your temper. It only leads to harm. For the wicked will be destroyed. All right? You understand the end of these people. For the wicked will be destroyed. But those who trust in the Lord will possess the land. Soon the wicked will disappear. Though you look for them, they will be gone. You know, so that's the end of these people. We know the ending of the movie. All right, so just gotta manage our time. You know, whatever you figure out what works for you to declutter your life and to simplify your walk towards the Lord, man. So with that, I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of the be upon your eyes.